Bafsin Green Construction and Trading up Bama Ghana for. Say Juma Kwedu and Juma Fatas on. And to say your hotel, school, hospital, bank, offices.
The Punch TV.
Abusuan for mama kwa baba the Punch TV, so make sure say and any first time I dey channel ya. Subscribe my like it, na share. We will so ajawa dwenche or comment section or for my abusuan for some lam na mo kase. Story bi aba beto intentan video no so. Ama ye twene sleni abasa. Obi e kasa fa ho abusuan for some re. Won come ho na yenkohwe video no emla ye ba. Emu nchire mu nyina ye ba beka.
Emphasizing debt, the
Punch TV.
But where does debt comes from? Debt comes from borrowing. And where does borrowing comes from? Borrowing comes from the deficit, the difference between your revenue and expenditure. And therefore, we do not have time to go into that. But we must take, the reforms in strengthening our revenue handles seriously. The number of taxes are just too many. We know already, and that has been discussed. So until we are able to reduce our deficit, if you look at the IMF program, it talks about ITAS. What is ITAS? ITAS is the domestic, the automation or digitalization, if I may use that word, of the domestic tax regime, which was to complement, single window, if you remember, West Blue, or now ICOMS.
Right.
For 7 years, it wasn't done. Now it has become a conditionality. This was going to be phase 2 of the ICOM, so that you can interface the domestic tax system, with the external, and then make it, more efficient. Expenditure. We have not mentioned expenditure rationalization, reduction. Sometimes there has never been an IMF program among the 17 that we have not tackled expenditure. Here we are keeping expenditure. Where the minister has said that they will hold the line. Hold the line on what? Hold the line on an expenditure level that is already high, and this may be the only IMF program where expenditure has not been taken quite seriously. As a result of
and who is to blame for that? Who is to blame for that? The IMF or our own, end of things?
We have to blame ourselves, because what are we talking about? We're talking basically about gift miss, which today is
The Punch TV.
There was an initiative. You can go back to PoofMap if you want to, not to be partisan about this issue. PoofMap from the Rawlings era, to the Kufuor era, and then to Mills, Mahaman, and then we adopted the expression gift mix. That's what it is, to improve our expenditure management. Today, again, after 7 years, it is another conditionality which we must meet.
Right.
Why couldn't we do these things for ourselves?
Right.
So my final point is, you can't keep borrowing and expect people to forgive, to suspend. You must learn to repay. And that is why, under the homegrown, we brought a sinking fund, right? Again, it is as decimated as a stabilization fund. Today we would have gone into the stabilization fund to stabilize or to hold the budget deficit, which is the one that causes borrowing and debt.
Right.
On account of the global crisis that we are talking about. You see, we are facing another global crisis. And I've been saying that you will not run an economy continuously for 3 years without one crisis or the rest, the flooding and all those things. And that is why you need that stabilization fund when the times are good.
Okay.
When you have 3 oil fields, so that you can use to stabilize. So in short, we need our own short-term measures, but we need to deepen our structural measures such as the one. Eloquent Prof mentioned, the balance between the domestic and the external. That was the essence of putting the government bonds on the stock exchange so that it becomes marketable. Yes, we were balancing it. It was very new, but it became the largest fixed income market of the stock exchange. What have we done with it? We stopped the payments. We ran it down, and those who would patronize that domestic market, pension funds and the rest, today they've been hurt, households.
Right.
How do you require another rebuilding of confidence? That was the essence of putting the government bonds on the market so that we can grow the domestic debt market. You know, that's the simple explanation for that exercise, which itself has been published.
Bafsin Green Construction and Trading Abama Ghana for. Say Jumekwe do and Juma Fatas on. And to say your hotel, school, hospital, bank, offices, and the sea. Now Pobiam and to Mutas amount ya. And then I may come for Bafsin Green Construction and Trading at the amount. Obuan was in down a won't you. Emane ha crampo, and posabro train hour. No West Sufia or Ghana now Pobiam and to Mutas amount ya. And yana me can for Bafsin Green Construction and Trading at the amount. The Yanni so benye mujidie. Your 2 bathroom tiles, compound tiles, swimming pool tiles, kitchen tiles, and in yakakaho. Then it is summer woman said, so passa Seattle. Now do location Maya. The Yanni say ya gana. Ye benya be the amount. Na yan juicy candy. Yan jajao said young crofobidi young crofobino. A sunset task would you make any dintino. Yet on cement, natural stones, tile cement, slabs, marble tiles, and nobody lay a sign so a supply. A sense of Juma Hotel, not so need to know. You were a boarding crats are a certificate, a treasure your fat entity. Obetting your friend whom I true for so 0505 62 68 23 0505 62 68 23. Oba we a breaku. Waja adequate winnie by quantum pona so. Bafsin Green Construction and Trading. We do it just the way you love it.
The map of your Baba, Mansa Media College. Mansa Media College, a school, power, a church TV so, any radio so, Jumedi. Ya sure, a Kumasi, a tone suit. Baby, I will be out of Mansa Media College. Now the whom Jumedia didn't honor. Yentie, Jumedia, Idino, Mansa Media College.
Say usua bribi wo media mu ana opese ohunu bribi biara efa media ho enso eche kra
Amansa Media College homa
ye wa achechefo a wakwadiri yie wa adetwe mu na in studio ni ye newsroom de editwam wonsam twemu no ye twe bribi ti se kasebo akenkan ni sinitwa ni bebura ekeka ho wo multimedia mu nso ye twe bribi ti se sini mfoni asiesie mfoni nitwa ni bebura ekeka ho ye betumi so aboa ama wo de na otwepe asunya bribi wo nkitahudie adwuma ahodo nyinaamu esanse ye wo yankasa foni nti abwe biara ye ma ya adesuafo kwan ma okọ yode ya twerɛ won adesua dan mu no
ahwefo hu ekame ese obi biara a wo le bosomtwe ase enim abakosema efa nsuo hu menya abofra ketewa bi wo ha ono so se onim abakosema efa le bosomtwe ho
abusuafo ye mama kwaba eba Ghana Pages TV so emra so se the trending issues ne ekoso ewo abe for time fidie ni so ebe somo midi na naje wa akode
Amansa Media College ya ma de we hia bia wo nkotahudie mu